The Israeli government said it had launched a manhunt following a shooting in the occupied West Bank on Monday. At least 3 people were killed in the attack in the Palestinian village of Al-Funduq, on one of the main east-west roads crossing the territory. Israeli government spokesman David Mencer said the victims included 2 women in their 60s and a man in his 40s. He added 8 other people were injured. "Our army is currently conducting a manhunt for the gunmen," he said, adding the attack was directed by Hamas and Iran, without providing details. Hamas praised the attack in a statement but did not claim responsibility for it. Violence has surged in the territory since Hamas' October 7, 2023, attack out of Gaza ignited the ongoing war there. Palestinians have carried out scores of shooting, stabbing and car-ramming attacks against Israelis in recent years. Israel has launched near-nightly military raids across the territory that frequently trigger gun battle with militants. There has also been a sharp rise in attacks on Palestinians by Israeli settlers, leading the United States to impose sanctions. The Palestinian Health Ministry says at least 838 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli fire in the West Bank since the start of the war in Gaza. Most appear to have been militants killed in battles with Israeli troops, but the dead also include participants in violent protests and civilian bystanders. Israel captured the West Bank, Gaza and East Jerusalem in the 1967 Mideast War, and the Palestinians want all 3 territories for their future state.
3 Israelis were murdered, 2 women in their 60s and 1 man in his 40s. 8 people were wounded, and of course families shattered. Terrorists opened fire on cars and a bus this morning in Al-Funduq. Our army is currently conducting a manhunt for the gunman. We know that this terror attack against Israelis is a direct result of the incessant incitement. It's directed by Hamas and Iran, and it's an attempt to bring about more murderous violence against innocent civilians. Let me make this clear. There will be no safe havens for terrorists in Judea and Samaria. The IDF and the security forces will thwart terrorists throughout the region, focusing on North Samaria, from where the murderous attacks have been launched. The Prime Minister sent heartfelt condolences to the families of the 3 people who were murdered in this terrible attack this morning and wishes for a full recovery to those wounded. He said that we will find the abhorrent murderers and settle accounts with them and all those who aided them. No one will get away.
Members of the Syrian rebel group HTS on Saturday surveyed the aftermath of a battle in Hama which left charred tanks and rocket launchers near a mountaintop mosque. Fierce battles took place to control the strategic mountain site during the Syrian rebels' December offensive against former President Bashar Assad's forces, with the mosque turned into a military barracks. HTS member Basel Abu Ahmed said that the rebels surrounded the mountain until the city of Hama was liberated. The mountain served as a launching site for the bombing and military operations conducted by Assad's forces against areas controlled by rebel groups, according to Abu Ahmed. It was a huge firing base for the regime, which used to bomb most of the areas and caused people a lot of suffering. Now, after the liberation, people are able to breathe and feel relieved, he said. The mosque was built in 2011, serving Shia and Alawite communities. Since the overthrow of Assad, the mountain has once again become a popular tourist destination, Abu Ahmed said.
هذا يا رقيب أو مقدم؟
بالمعركة الأخيرة قامت إدارة العمليات العسكرية بالالتفاف على الجبل وعلى مدينة حما حتى استطاعوا بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى تحرير المنطقة بالكامل. كان قاعدة نارية كبيرة للنظام، كان يقصف أغلب المناطق وأذاق الناس الويلات. الآن بعد التحرير الناس تنفست الصعداء وصار في راحة كبيرة. أصلا الجبل يعني هو المفروض يكون معلم سياحي، الجبل جميل جدا، في الناس بتطلع تتسيح فيه. هلا بعد التحرير الناس صار مقصد للسياحة يعني.